Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to Prismata. I do have to go to work in a few hours, but I thought let's get some recording in before that. I'm really excited to be playing more. I'm really pleased that these videos are going down well, because it is a game that I'm finding a lot of pleasure in. This is an interesting unit set. Maybe we play the aggressor here. That would be cool. Alright. Why do I say that? Because we have some fairly aggressive units here. Obviously the opening is... well, I could make it Animus right away. Then I'd have 2 red to spend next turn on an economy of 7, which would be very difficult. I could make a Grimbotch, and that would be it. I don't think you ever open with an Animus, but I guess you could. Is interesting. There is this one, it's very cheap, and I could obviously buy that, but it's not aggressive and doesn't really do anything. It has a build time of 2, and it is a way to get the blue resource, which seems pretty reasonable. Often if you do make an Animus, because you get 2 red, you're sort of locked into playing, like, it's very hard to branch out into other colors. You often just end up playing sort of mono red, because it's hard to spend all of those resources and you don't really want to make more production buildings. The ferritin sack's a really nice way of being able to access like blue without having to like commit to it. So you can like dabble in blue. I'm gonna make 2 more drones. I certainly am not going to make an engineer. I might even make an endotherm kit because this thing I'm actually gonna do that. Let's do that. The endotherm kit, as you can guess from the name, is cold. It's very cool. So basically what we've got here is it's going to make 4 frostbites and 4 cryo rays, which you can see on the far right there. These things freeze the enemy's blockers, and then if the blocker is frozen, it doesn't work. They can't use that thing to block. So what this is sort of like damage. I mean, you don't actually kill anything, but you do freeze it, which means they're going to have to invest in even more. If they know you can freeze stuff, they're going to have to make more defense anyway, so they end up spending all their resources. So let's get that conduit in early and we can start stacking the green ready for the endotherm kit. I think we saw some frost in the very first video. He's gone for an Animus, so I think he's going to be playing reasonably aggressive as well. I could make a Blast Forge. It's annoying, he's taken the initiative and built the Animus before me. Maybe I should have made 1 fewer drone and made an Animus instead of the conduit. Because he's kind of shoehorned me into into making a Blast Forge. And I don't really want one. Well, I go double drone, that's for sure. I can't actually afford the Animus. Well, that makes things a lot easier, I suppose. I will eventually go red, but I think... I was kind of thinking I could use the ferritin sacks and go pure red. A Blast Forge is still quite good. I'm gonna need walls. And later on, once our attack powers get much bigger, I suppose the ferritin sacks will be useful. So I probably do want a Blast Forge. I think it would be very difficult to play a game without a Blast Forge. The trouble is though, Tarsiers don't have a attack. So I've got this blue and I don't really need a wall. So I'm gonna make a steel splitter, which can block later on. I guess I'm adding damage, so that's fine. And then I could make... I could go Animus here. I kind of want to, but then I wouldn't be making any drones. And an economy of 13 is going to be kind of tough to spend, because I've already got 2 infrastructure buildings down. I'm going to need more eco. Yeah, I guess that's it. Not really what I had in mind. Should have made the Animus... should have taken the initiative and made that Animus first. I suppose that is the advantage of being player 1. Thankfully, though, I do have an extra drone. I started with an extra drone because I'm going second. So I suppose, in theory, the longer the game goes, the better that is for me. 2 Grimbotches. Okay, 4 damage coming in. So the Grimbotch has a lifespan of 4. I think we've seen this unit before. So it will eventually die, but it is quite cheap for its cost. The Tarsier costs the exact same, but it has that build time. So I like what he's doing, because he's put the Tarsiers down first to get that build time, and then on the next turn combine it with Grimbotches. So on the turn coming, you'll have 4 attack, stacking them all up at once. I can make the Endotherm Kit pretty soon. Well, I can make it now. Obviously, I need red, so I need to get that Animus down. I need to make... I will make a wall. I will attack with the steel splitter, and I'll make 1 drone. If I make the engineer, I'll have 16 gold. And then next turn, I'm making an Endotherm Kit and a Tarsier. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can make a wall as well. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'd be floating 2 gold next turn as well. I absolutely think the engineer then is good. I don't need that 2 gold to do something next turn. And that's probably because the Endotherm Kit is using up most of my coloured resources. So basically, I'm up against the aggro again. Here comes the Blood Rager. He's really piling on the pressure now. This thing, it costs 3 attack to make, so he's not actually doing any damage to me here when he could have done. But he spent that damage on the Blood Rager instead. But that is an incredibly efficient unit once you've got it up and running at least. Alright, Endotherm Kit comes down now. We make a Tarsier and then a Steel Splitter. Yeah. So I'm going to keep the Steel Splitter alive. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll 2 on the Steel Splitter. He doesn't have any defense, so I could kill that Engineer if I attack with it. Instead, I'd have to make a wall. So that's probably a good idea. No, the Grimbotch is blocking. So I do want a Steel Splitter. And the Steel Splitter can block. Because I'm not going to kill anything. The Grimbotch is just going to soak it. I might as well invest in more permanent damage. Rather than just getting 1 temporary damage now. Here comes the attack. Double Blood Rager! So he's not putting any damage. He's not putting any pressure on me. Well, this turn at least. But he's investing in Blood Rages. So this feels more like mid-rangey. He's not going full aggro, is what I'm saying. Okay. So I'll attack with 1 Steel Splitter, the other can block. I will not make a Gauss Cannon. Whoops, I'll make a wall. And that's ideal. And then I've got 2 red to spend. I think what I want is probably going to be 2 Tarsiers. Next turn, he's got 11. But the turn after that, he will have, if he makes 2 more Blood Rages, it's going to be 13, 15 damage. Can I deal with a 15 defense? I might actually need to make... 15 defense could be really tough. Probably need that Ferritin Sac. No, because if he makes 2 Blood Rages, I'll still have the walls, so that's fine. I'll make the Ferritin Sac next turn. If he makes the Blood Rages, he's not going to kill any of my walls, so that'll be fine. It would cost him 6 attack to make them. And those Grimbotches are going to die soon. I think maybe he just got the Grimbotches out to, like, get the early Blood Rages. He knew the Grimbotches would die. Because to me, the Grimbotch feels like a unit you want to make, like, just as you really want to start ramping up the pressure. Whereas he built them quite early on. And I think what he was doing was not ramping up the pressure, he was quickly getting the resources he needed, in this case attack, to make the Blood Rages. God, he has a lot of damage coming in. Okay. On the walls, 2 on the Steel Splitter. Alright. Okay, so I'll make a wall. I want to attack with that. I'm actually going to have to make force fields, unless I want to block with the Steel Splitters. I think I do, and then I make a force field. I'm going to lose a Steel Splitter here, but what can you do? I make a Ferritin Sac, or do I make 2 of those? What's he got next turn? Is he still going to make blood? Yeah, he can keep making Blood Rages every turn. Yeah, let's make some sacks. I'll make a sack. Which makes 2 sacks. No, I'll make 1, and I'll make another one next turn. Let's get this in. And I've got some spare resources floating around because I made a Ferritin Sac, which is quite cheap. So I'll make a Gauss Cannon. I'm not pleased because it's just an expensive, and I'll make a drone as well. Might seem odd to make a drone here, but they can block too. So basically, it's like making an engineer. All the drone has to do is it'll gain 1 on the next turn. So effectively, it costs 2 because 3 minus 1 is 2. He'll make that gold, and then it breaks even. So it's basically an engineer if you have the power floating around, which I did. And if it survives longer than that, then that's great. Yeah, he really needs to start preparing a defense though, because I've got the Frostbites incoming and the Cryo Rays. And then basically I'm going to get through to his back line and it's going to be a nightmare. Thankfully, he doesn't actually kill the Steel Splitters because, you know, made more Blood Rages. But I do have to respect the fact that he could push. Because if he gets through my front, if he gets through the line, he'll kill the Tarsiers, and he'll do that every time because they only have 1 life. They're really fragile, so I have to respect his attack power. Right, we'll need a force field. So that's 16. These have to block, and then Ferritin Sac, Tarsier, drone, Engineer. Alright. Or do I want to make a... Instead of a Tarzia, I'm going to make a Grimbotch, because my Frostbites become active next turn, and I can really ramp the pressure up. Maybe I even make a second Grimbotch instead of that drone. Nice. Alright. Can really push him now. Look at that. 16 freeze. Damn. I think I can just quick kill all of the Blood Rages here. Basically, he needs to make 25 block. He's only got 6. There's no way. He'd have to leave every drone back. But he can't leave them back because he'd have no money to spend on walls. Oh, he is so fucked! Respect the freeze. He didn't make adequate preparations. No, I just smash his walls. I just smash through the defense. Yeah, panicked rhinos coming out, and then I just kill all the Blood Rages on the back line. I actually think he just quits here. He's lost. Oh, I hope I get to show it though. I don't want him to resign. I wanna do the smashy. Ah, yeah, that's a good plan. Use the Ferritin sack. Brings him up to 14, and then I guess you leave a drone back, but it doesn't matter. I can still get through. Yeah, he's leaving drones back now. Because the Grimbotch he made isn't prompt. It is a blocker, but it won't block immediately. So that's the best he can do. Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay. Just freeze everything. The Frostbites freeze for 3, and the Cryo Rays freeze for 1. Nice. And I will freeze this. Let's attack with everything. I will make Grimbotches and a Steel Splitter. And we will... Oh, I really wanted to overrun his defenders and kill that back line of Blood Rages. Because he only has 3 block there, and I've got overrun to the defenders, and then I've got 8... I'd have 5 attack left to kill stuff with. So I could kill 2 Blood Rages and a Tarzia, which reduces his damage output by 5 every turn. Oh, and then I just... You can't win from there. Didn't respect the Endotherm freeze. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next time.